Now at 5, a tornado watch headlines my forecast this evening. We'll have the latest on the immediate severe weather threat.
A deadly virus impacting thousands of dogs in central Indiana. I'm Kara Kenny with how you can protect your pet.
New at 5, a rush of cell phone store robberies in the Indianapolis area. The MO the thieves are using and why police are very concerned tonight.
Water emergencies across Indiana. At least one person is dead. Others are missing. What you need to know tonight.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
First at 5, a tornado watch across much of the viewing area, and we are tracking the possibility of severe storms. That weather bad enough to send these kids in Greenwood sprinting for cover from a basketball court in the middle of a storm.
Yeah, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory busy tracking the system. So, Kevin, what can you tell us now?
Well, the good news, no severe storms now. We have one area of rain exiting, and we'll wait on another, so it'll take a little patience here. Let me just show you, there's the tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock. Technically, does not include Indianapolis, but anyone very close to the watch will need to be alert for changing conditions tonight. Crawfordsville to Lebanon, down to Carmel, Fishers, and then into southern Madison County north till 10 o'clock. Let's talk about departing thunderstorms through Grant County. Then between Portland and Winchester, rain will move, and one other area just sliding through Wayne County, just cleared Fountain City and Richmond. These have had some strong wind gusts at McCordsville to 58 miles per hour. The wait now for additional thunderstorm development. You see this line started to come together in Illinois. We'll see if it builds any more to the south. The greatest threat through the evening hours will continue to be north and west, at least at the beginning, and certainly north of Indianapolis. Temperatures have been bouncing around due to the rain. We're at 84 now. There's where the thunderstorms redevelop by 7. I'll finish that timeline for you. Unveil the 7-day forecast, which should look familiar, coming up.
At this hour, we are following breaking news from Indianapolis' southeast side. Metro Police confirm human remains were found in a suitcase along a creek on Villa Avenue near East Raymond Street and South Keystone Avenue. IMPD says people walking near the creek today made the discovery. At this time, police have not released the identity of the victim or any possible suspects. But again, we are following breaking news. Human remains found in a suitcase. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. We'll pass along any new details we get here on air and on the RTV6 app.
It is so sad because it's totally preventable.
New tonight, a deadly virus outbreak is impacting thousands of puppies and dogs in central Indiana right now. Working for you, RTV6's Kara Kenny runs down the important information you need so you can protect your pet from a dangerous virus.
This is Pippa, a 3-month-old pit bull that's been battling parvo for the past 2 weeks. She's just about to leave Noah's Westside Animal Hospital. Pippa, named after the IndyCar driver Pippa Mann, tested positive for parvovirus while at the city's animal shelter. Every Dog Counts rescue is getting her treated at Noah's Westside. Intensive care for parvo can be costly.
So it can cost us anywhere between $1,000 and $5,000 to treat a puppy and get them through that infection. When you've got a puppy who's got their whole life ahead of them, it's worth it.
Parvo is a highly contagious virus that spreads through infected fecal matter. All it takes is for a dog to sniff or lick a surface with parvo. The virus likes to spread in warm weather. Spring is prime time. The West Michigan Street Vet Clinic has seen about 80 cases so far this year, and it's not pretty.
These puppies, these beautiful, sweet things come in emaciated, sick, can't lift their head up. Their eyes are sunken. They've got blood coming out of their mouth. They're defecating blood. I mean, it's horrific, and it is so sad because it's totally preventable.
The vaccine to prevent parvo costs $10 at this clinic and is recommended when a puppy hits 6 weeks of age, with boosters following that. However, you can also vaccinate older dogs too.
There's no harm in getting them vaccinated again, and the great thing is most shelters you're adopting from are going to vaccinate the dog upon intake.
The clinic posts several warning signs at the door to keep puppies and unvaccinated dogs off the floor, which can contain fecal matter. Many pet owners also don't realize parvo can live in their house for years.
If you have a puppy, especially if it dies from parvo, do not get another puppy in that house.
The West Michigan Street Vet Clinic can treat parvo outpatient for $200 or less. They encourage all pet owners to get their animals treated at the first symptoms, which greatly increases the chance of survival. Left untreated, parvo has only a 5 to 10% survival rate. For dogs like Pippa and Duke, they're parvo survivors. Pippa should be available for adoption next week. Just go to edcr.org. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
We are always working to keep your loved ones safe, including your pets. So if you have concerns about the well-being of any of your family members and you aren't getting answers, you can contact us. Email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Right now, at least 3 people are missing, including a 4-year-old, and a man is dead in multiple water-related emergencies. Now, first, the urgent search continues for a 4-year-old in Delphi. Owen Jones disappeared while swimming in a Delphi creek last week. Drones, boats, and sonar equipment have been used in the search, but officials say high water levels and muddy water have made conditions difficult. Today, crews are discouraging volunteers from showing up to help search. They say the conditions along the water are not safe, and only professionals should be part of this search. And search crews in Indianapolis are also continuing their efforts to find a missing man in the White River on the west side. A couple taking a selfie saw a man struggling in the fast-moving water who eventually was swept under by the current. Authorities say they have recovered his canoe and life jackets just south of the dam, but still no sign of that victim. And right now, DNR is searching for an Indianapolis man who disappeared in Tippecanoe River in White County this morning. Investigators say 58-year-old Stephen Pitts was in a kayak paddling near a dam, and the water from the dam capsized his kayak. Pitts had a life jacket but was not wearing it. He was last seen wearing tan shorts and a yellow shirt. If you have seen a man in this clothing near Tippecanoe River in White County, report the sighting to 911. And the search is over for a man who had been reported missing on Lake Monroe. Crews found the body of 31-year-old William Snoddy on Sunday. He was swimming behind a boat anchored near the Allens Creek State Recreation Area on Lake Monroe when he disappeared under the water. Conservation officers say he was not wearing a life jacket at the time. An autopsy is pending. Coming up on the Now Indy, what you have to know before you get into any body of water right now. And tonight, criminals are targeting and robbing cell phone stores. And as our team was working on this story today, another AT&T store was robbed. RTV6's Paris Lubell is on the city's west side trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
They're just cell phone stores around central Indiana, just like this AT&T store, 465 in Crawfordsville Road, but they're being targeted for the phones that they have not in the front of the store, but the back of the store. It happens quickly, and in just a matter of minutes, cell phone stores are being robbed of thousands of dollars of smartphones, and it's happening across the metro area. You can see in the beginning of these robberies in video obtained by Call 6. Police say multiple men pull up their hoods, walk into a cell phone store like this AT&T store in Greenwood, owned by Prime Communications. They pull out guns and lead the store's employee to the back room, and moments later making off with the inventory. It's become a major problem in the past few months. IMPD says they've had more than 20 cell phone stores robbed in the city, and that doesn't factor in cases from the surrounding cities or counties. Sam is a district manager for Prime Communications, a company that owns AT&T stores in central Indiana, and they say they've seen 8 robberies to their stores in the past 2 months.
A lot of people, when I talk about this with, friends and family, they're just like, why are we robbing a cell phone store? I don't get it. Do you guys have a bunch of money on hand? No, we don't. They're going after the inventory. When you go sell cell phones for a living or sign up people for TV and internet, it's not what we do. We're not prepared for that. So there's a big feeling of anxiety out there right now.
Some of the stores are offering rewards for information. If there's any information that you can provide to help convict somebody, Crime Stoppers is also looking for tips. You can call them at 262-TIPS. In Indianapolis, Paris Lubell, RTV6.
Thanks, Paris. And Prime Communications, the owner of those AT&T stores, is offering a $3,000 reward for anyone with info about the robberies or the suspects. We have the info on how to contact them right now at theindychannel.com and on the RTV6 app. And coming up at 6, RTV6 looks into the spike in these robberies and what police are now doing to combat this problem.
Tonight, Simon Pagenaud is enjoying the fruits of his labor after an unforgettable win in the 103rd Indianapolis 500. He edged out Alexander Rossi as the two exchanged the lead up until the very last lap. RTV6 sports director Dave First is live at the JW Marriott downtown, the site of the Indianapolis 500 victory celebration banquet. Dave, how is Simon enjoying what is probably the biggest win of his career?
It's only just begun, really, for Simon Pagenaud. Bright early this morning, back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll show you that in a second. But then the victory celebration inside here. I know this doesn't look elaborate. Trust me, that's the JW Marriott on the other side of that glass wall. Victory celebration is tonight, and then they're flying to New York later tonight after this is all said and done. Full day in New York, flying to Dallas to get things ready, pumped up for the Texas Motor Speedway race coming up in a couple of weeks. And then finally at Detroit. Oh, yeah, the series continues this coming weekend with a doubleheader up on the streets of Belle Isle. But first things first, early this morning, back at the Speedway, let's show you the annual victory photo. Rise and shine, up and early for the champs today. Team Penske with victory dinner, which lasted, I'm told, around the wee hours or so, followed by another celebration after that. And then Simon, he admitted he had got about 2 hours of sleep. That was about it. But his fiancee Haley was there this morning, his mom, even Norma the dog on hand. All in the family, certainly, for a win like this. He already won a season championship a couple of years ago, but now this is a little bit bigger, pushing for the Indy 500, and got it after a wild finish down the stretch. Is there a moment where you stop and you think, holy cow, this is me now. This is my life.
It's so hard to believe, Dave, because, you know, obviously you train yourself mentally to get to this point, but I haven't had time to really think about it myself. I watched the last few laps last night on my phone, and this morning on my phone when I went to bed, and it was incredible. But I need to watch the race. I need to watch everything that happened to really embrace it and realize what's happening to us.
Comfier than dress shoes.
Total purse around $13 million. Simon should get a check tonight around $2.5 million. This, I think, might be the rookie of the year in the Indy 500 after a seventh place finish, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Look at the Santino Ferrucci, by the way, who, look at the shoes, ladies and gentlemen. You're good to go tonight, man.
Hey, I got to be comfortable, you know. That's the whole point.
Just wait till you get older. You'll always want comfortable shoes when you get older. But congratulations on a big day yesterday, and have fun tonight, okay?
Thank you very much.
Santino Ferrucci, Simon Pagenaud, big night here tonight at the JW Marriott. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Dave, for that big night ahead there. It is another big day at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Crews spending time cleaning up this mess here left behind by an estimated 300,000 people on race day.
It's definitely not as nice as what the JW Marriott's looking like right now. So volunteers from several groups gathered for the day-long job of picking up all of that trash. So this year, that included dozens of students and parents from Southwood High School in Wabash, Indiana. The school's athletic director says it's a dirty job, but it's well worth it.
We get great teamwork out of this. Our kids learn to rely on each other. Our parents' involvement is, again, it's immeasurable, because I think those guys provide an excellent visual for what their kids can see. And, you know, hey, it's okay to work. It's okay to work.
Well, all that hard work will mean thousands of dollars that go directly to Southwood's football and volleyball teams. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, many people cannot afford a vacation with all the bells and whistles. As the saying goes, there's an app for that. The app you should check out if you're up for a less expensive adventure.
And up next here at 5, a Hoosier father remembers the life and honors the sacrifice of his son on this Memorial Day. The lesson he learned from his son's dedicated military service.
And some thunderstorms exiting Indiana to the north and east, but we can't turn our back on Illinois. This is where we'll watch for development of severe storms that we may inherit. More on that coming up.
Weather than anyone else.
Memorial Day is a time to remember the sacrifice of those who gave their lives for our country to keep us safe and free.
And today across the state, Hoosiers gathered to honor our fallen heroes. At this ceremony at Liberty Plaza in Fishers, a father took time to remember his son's life and lasting legacy.
And so while I miss my son every single day, I am so very proud of what people thought of him while he was on this earth. and the action he took when he was called upon to do so. Through all this, I've gained a new appreciation for veterans, for the nation they fought for, and for ceremonies like this that honor their sacrifice.
Again, these ceremonies took place all over Indiana today, and we give our thanks to everyone who serves, and especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.
Now we're joined with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory. And Kevin, we are tracking some storms for today.
Yeah, and so for those ceremonies, obviously worked out pretty well. These are bubbling up during the heat of the day, as expected. And remember, the sun doesn't set until after 9, so we've got our tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight on this Memorial Day. Temperatures back into the 80s. The thunderstorm chance and the severity potential, severe storms, go up as you go from Indianapolis to the north, a decreasing chance for severe weather from Indianapolis to the south, and all modes of severe weather, damaging wind, hail, and isolated tornadoes. That's why we have the tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. The area of thunderstorms exiting Indiana will push into Ohio. We'll keep our eye on Illinois. We've had some redevelopment here. These are downpours at the beginning. We'll see if they build into some thunderstorms. Tippecanoe County just south of Lafayette, just southwest of Frankfort, crossing I-65 and State Road 52. In Illinois, a couple of areas, one here along Interstate 70 west of Terre Haute. Not much in the way of lightning with that. This is the line we'll keep our eye on. There are several tornado warnings along that line from Peru to west of Chicago. We'll see if these can grow together at all, but this is why the northwest portion of the state, northern third, targeted then for the greater severe weather threat as we go the next few hours. 82 in Greencastle, 88 in Bedford. How about that? Warm to the south, much cooler to the north. The warm front is where the dividing line is, and it's also the spark and the railroad track that these storms will follow along. Bean, Pearl, and Trinity. How that? I'm going to attempt to walk 3 dogs at once in my weather forecast this evening. If you're headed out for a walk, especially if you're north and west of Indianapolis, hurry up, because your chance for thunderstorms will increase. Thanks to Mark and Beth Weaver for sending in a picture of their trio of dogs. 7 o'clock tonight, Lafayette, Monticello, Logansport, Peru, the most likely area for thunderstorms. Some may be intense or severe. That line moves to the east. The southern edge of this could reach Hamilton County and Indianapolis. Keep our eye on that. And by 11, starting to exit. That's the period there where our severe weather threat is the greatest. Don't forget, this is free. Our Storm Shield app sends alerts right to your smartphone, and wherever you're at, if you're traveling, you'll get those warnings for what location you are at. So it's weather radio for your phone. Daily chance of thunderstorms, although tomorrow's chance not as high. And if you look for dry days, I think Friday and Saturday, the best chance for dry weather. But notice we're consistently cooler. Temperatures in the 80s the next 2 days, and then 5 in a row after that, middle to upper 70s. Just stay tuned for changing conditions here the next several hours.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, coming up, the birth of a baby in Nevada becomes a family affair. We will explain next.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV. We hope you are enjoying this Memorial Day holiday, spending time with your family and honoring your loved ones. Today, in the case of the state of California versus Kellen Wenzel II, the court is in recess. But there's a lot of work to be done by both sides. So far, there have been 3 Jane Doe accusers who've taken the stand. And late in the day on Thursday, the daughter of Jane Doe #1 came forward to the DA's office saying that she may have some information to corroborate her mother's testimony. Now, whether she'll be permitted to testify is another question. That still needs to happen before the judge, which will happen in a hearing on Tuesday. Both sides will be able to argue their points. Of course, we will be there bringing you live gavel-to-gavel coverage. We also continue following the sentencing coverage of Jake Patterson. He is the man who kidnapped 13-year-old Jamie Kloss and murdered her parents. She survived the kidnapping. We are there following this story for you closely, bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage from the courtroom. As always, stay with Court TV. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
And you can stream Court TV live 24 hours a day at courttv.com. A beautiful nightmare. That's how one father describes the delivery of his 4th child.
And it's all caught on camera, and a warning, some of the images you might find be graphic.
Mike, the baby's coming out.
No.
Oh, Mike, the baby's coming out.
No, she's not.
Without the help of doctors or even 911 dispatchers, a Nevada couple delivered their baby in an unplanned, unexpected place. The car.
Yeah, Michael Addison, the father, told our Scripps team it was a beautiful nightmare since their baby girl was born as he was driving his wife to her checkup at a Las Vegas area hospital. Addison's other 3 kids were in the back seat. His 2 daughters were crying since his wife was in obvious pain, as you heard there. But their 10-year-old son, Jaden, captured the entire thing on video.
Crazy. I would just say it was surprised because we were just in the back seat. I was recording, and I guess he forgot. I had the phone.
Count on the 10-year-old to record that. All right. Well, the family lives less than 10 minutes away from the hospital, but that was not close enough. His wife's due date was supposed to be June 8th.
Wow.
The internet is now calling their newborn Infinity Baby. Since she was born in the family's Infinity vehicle, the couple named their newborn Jolie Laverne Addison.
Wow, 2 weeks early. More than 2 weeks. All right, welcome to the world, Jolie. Good to see you. Coming up tonight at 6, school safety changes after the Noblesville school shooting. The impact that day had on 2 different districts. Tonight at 6.
But first on the Now Indy, we've reported on it. Many people missing, at least 1 person dead in water-related emergencies around central Indiana. Working for you, the info you have to see before you get into another body of water. You're watching RTV6.
Screen, communicating opportunities.
Topping our lineup here on the Now, a famous visitor is speeding up recovery for these veterans, how he's helping after serving one of our presidents. And as you think of summer travel, there's a new move making hotel prices more transparent, the change to resort fees, and how you can save if you get charged. And what were you doing at the age of 7? We are going to introduce you to a 7-year-old who is taking the National Spelling Bee by storm this week.
And thank you so much for joining us on this Monday, a Memorial Day for the Now Indy. We are in weather alert mode here as we're going to continue to watch radar very closely. We've got a tornado watch just north of Indianapolis, really the northwestern 2/3 of central Indiana until 10 o'clock tonight, as primarily we're going to be watching some thunderstorms in Illinois. We've had 1 batch of some showers and storms. Those are moving to the northeast out of the area. At this point, just a couple of very light showers south of Lafayette and also near the Frankfort area. But as we look back to the west, we've got 1 thunderstorm that's popping up here along I-70 east of Effingham, and more thunderstorms into central and northern portions of Illinois. All of this activity is going to continue to slide to the east. In fact, here's TrueCast. As we go through the next couple of hours, you can see that thunderstorm activity getting a little more organized here and moving through especially the northern half of central Indiana, but should primarily be out of here by about 11 o'clock. So this evening, mostly cloudy skies, a few of those thunderstorms, temperatures in the mid-70s through 10. We'll talk more about those storms for this evening in just a few minutes. Amanda.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer, which means a lot of you are heading out to lakes and rivers to enjoy the weather. Working for you, our Alyssa Donovan has a message for anyone who plans to get into the water this summer.
There have been several drownings in local waterways across central Indiana in just the past few days, and conservation police are warning people before they go into the water to be prepared and play it safe.
This is the hard part.
Like many, Pam, and Vicky are spending Memorial Day out at Eagle Creek Reservoir.
This is only my 2nd time kayaking, but I love it, and I hope to do it more.
And while they've seen some other kayakers go without life jackets,
they may have them in their boat, but they're not wearing them.
These ladies won't take the risk.
We keep our life jackets on.
Which is exactly what conservation police want kayakers and other boaters to do.
We're urging anyone that's going out on any rivers, any moving water, to wear your life jackets.
Especially right now.
The water levels are elevated. The current is moving pretty swift. It's deceiving looking at it, but once you get in it, you understand the dangers.
Dangers that have become very real in recent days. Crews continued their search this morning for a man who went missing in the White River in Indianapolis on Saturday. He's one of several people who have fallen victim to the high waters. Another man's body was recovered from Lake Monroe after he went underwater while swimming this weekend. And a 4-year-old boy has yet to be recovered after he was swept away in the floodwaters of Deer Creek in Delphi. And just this morning, a kayaker was seen going underwater on Tippecanoe River near Monticello.
Initial reports were that the victim was kayaking, was not wearing a life jacket, fell out of the kayak and went under and did not come back up.
Which is why officials are urging people to be like these kayakers and wear a life jacket when out on the water. I'm Melissa Donovan, RTV6.